Alright, what's up YouTube? I'm working on the bug here, and it does not want to run. I can't quite figure out why. Okay, so I mentioned a few videos ago that the Beetle's like running kind of like ass, and I really can't quite figure out what's wrong with it because it's got fuel, it had spark, and suddenly it doesn't have spark anymore, so I screwed with the distributor a little bit. I put a new contact point in. That didn't do anything. The one that was in there looked like it had been replaced recently. Getting a new condenser later today, so I'll be replacing that. But part of the thing that I think is the problem is I just put those new spark plugs in a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was a month ago or so ago. And they're super, they've got a lot of carbon buildup on them. Like they're really black, and so I'm going to pull one out. I've been cleaning them. Just been using this wire brush to clean them off, a little brass one. And hopefully it's just not getting good spark. I think when I seafoamed it, just all the carbon deposits just built up on the spark plugs. That's my theory at least. And hopefully it's right. I'll show you one in just a second when I pull that other one out. Okay, so if we look here, you can see there's all that black up on the top of the plug. And like I said, I just replaced these. Clean that up, put it back in. I'm going to do that with all 4 of them. Okay, so I got all the plugs cleaned up. And like I said, I'm not getting spark, so now I'm going to replace the condenser on this thing, which, well, I'm going to take it out and I'll show you. There's actually a little, the green wire is kind of frayed, so that could be part of my issue. And if that still doesn't work, if I still can't get spark, I guess I'll just replace the whole distributor. Luckily it's only like 50 bucks, but like it's still a pain in the neck. But once that, I mean, I can't see a reason it won't spark after that. So we'll pop this distributor out. Just a 10mm socket down here. It's really easy to take off, so I'm going to get on that. First things first, I'm going to take the distributor cap off. So I got the cap off, loosen that thing up. I'm just going to pull the whole guy out. Okay, so distributor's out, and I'm going to pop that condenser off. It's just that one screw. Then that leads up to coil. Take that off. Looking at this, you noticed that was frayed, but I didn't realize it was quite as bad, and I didn't notice the black wire. A little pinhole in it, so if those are crossing, that could definitely be an issue. Either way, got a new one of these coming in this afternoon, so I'm going to take this off. Once the new one gets here, I'll put the new one in. If I still can't get it to work after this, after the condenser, like I said, I'll just buy a new one. It's like 50 bucks, but I'm trying to not spend all money on repairs, and I'm trying to, you know, upgrade stuff. So obviously, since I'm just going to be a drift car, it's always going to need repairs. That's kind of how that's kind of how it goes. But all right, got my new condenser here. Time to slap this thing in there. All right, new condenser's on there. One screw, one thing, plug in, super easy. Now it's time to put the rest of this thing back together, drop it in there. Alright, so I don't think I've done a very good job explaining what's going on with this car. So I can't get it to start. And I know it's got fuel. I recently replaced the fuel pump. I didn't make a video of that because it's 2 bolts and a couple hose clamps. And then I did some test where I, you know, put the hose in a bottle and made sure it's getting fuel. Spat out fuel when I cranked the engine, so that was a good sign. Changed the fuel filter anyway too, and I checked for spark, and it was getting spark. And then I checked again for spark a little later on, and it wasn't. I wasn't quite sure why. So I, you know, as you saw, I fixed the distributor and everything. Even originally, when it was getting fuel and spark, I thought it was poor compression. Tried this stuff, didn't help at all. But I haven't driven it since then. So today the car's not getting spark, And I've replaced the condenser and the points on the distributor, so even though it's probably just a cap, we have here brand new distributor. Look at that, red, it's nice and shiny. And I'll have all the pieces from the old one that I know are brand new because I just replaced them if I ever need to. So that's going in today. And hopefully I can get this thing to start and I can start driving it again, and then I can have some fun with it. But looks like the last one was here. I pulled the plug, checking for sparks, so I'm going to put that back in. Didn't want to start threading in there for some reason. Maybe we'll get a ratchet. There's a socket here, a ratchet. Can't get out of there for some reason. This thing's going backwards, of course. Anyway. It's nice and snug. And that plug wire is right here. So, in we go. Now, I'm going to mess with this distributor. Hopefully, I can get it out of there without too much of an issue. Plug this and just cap off. Don't worry too much about that. Really kind of disappointed this thing's not running. Thought I got it for a great deal, and it ran fine when I first bought it. So I mean, it wasn't perfect. It drove like an old car, but I mean, it's 40 years old, so it's kind of what you'd expect. But I don't know. Maybe it's not so happy what's in store for it. This is a new one right here, so hopefully we can get it to go. In there nice and good. Jeez, my hair is all over the place today. I hope it's not blocking the camera. Alright, finally got that seat down in there. That was a real pain in the balls. I'm going to put this wire back up to the coil, cap back on. One at a time. Mark. Okay. Graph. Make sure I got it all right, but it seems like I think I did. It seems like I think I did. Nice English, Christian. We'll see how she does. I gotta time this thing. Oh, Jesus. I was wondering why that's so hard to turn the car's in gear. I'm pushing the whole car forward. I'm going to 7.5 degrees. I got all the notch there on my wheel, pulley, whatever you want to call it. My little timing light here. It's a test light, not a timing light. It's all right. There. Tighten this thing up. Crank the engine, see what happens. Sounds like my battery's dying. Battery might be even worse, so I'm not quite sure what's going on here. It's having trouble turning the engine. Can't say why. That other battery may be dead as well, but I don't even know if the first one's dead. I might have screwed myself with this stuff. It sounds like the engine's having a real hard time moving. Might just be too thick, all this stuff in there. I guess I could take some oil out, put some new stuff in, try to get some of this gunk out of there, but I'm not too happy about that. Alright, so it doesn't seem like that battery's doing much. This one doesn't seem like it's doing much either. It's the rover battery. Alright, so I got it hooked up to the Jetta battery and I'm going to see what happens. Well, fuck. Now it seems like it's got a bad starter motor because it's barely spinning, or maybe it's just working too hard. I'll do another oil change and just get that stuff out of there. I kind of think that might be what it is. Not gum out. I don't remember what it's called. I guess I could probably do that. I've got all day, so get that oil out of there. Get some new oil into it. It's just strange to me that it just kind of chugs like that, and the starter motor usually has no problem, so. All jacked up. So I'm going to drain some oil out of it. If you watch the tune-up video, you know, it's just this whole thing's got to come off. Looks like it's leaking oil anyway, so yeah, I'll probably just take a couple of those bolts off. Hopefully I can just get it to drain out without taking the whole thing out. Oh, it's not that big of a bitch. It's kind of a pain that you got 6 bolts instead of 1. But you can get them with a thing in the middle. So you just take one out. Probably get that at some point. Not the most comfortable floor ever. But yeah, sometimes I think you could take these out. Just drain out that single hole. It'll probably take like a long time, but that might be what we do. There we go. So, I mean, it'll drain that way. It's just going to take a long, long time. This oil smells really burnt. That's probably bad. Go ahead and say that's bad. Smell that. How's it smell? I mean, I probably changed this oil 150 miles ago. Something like that. So for it to smell all burnt, that's not good. Alright, so that all that oil finally drained, or it's still dripping just a little bit, but that's alright. So yeah, that took probably 45 minutes to an hour to drain out of that little hole. These ones just need to be snug. I didn't tighten them quite enough last time though. I guess maybe I did. That one's pretty tight. But this thing's leaking just a little bit, so hoping it's just coming out of some of these. Time to add some oil. It takes like 2 and something quarts, so not that much at all. Got this big metal funnel, should make it go a little quicker. Whoa! I gotta stay put. Oh! Alright, let's get this out of here. Well, definitely turned a little easier to start, but it didn't do anything much after that. The starter motor looks brand new. So I wouldn't think it'd be that, but it seems like it's having a tough time. Alright, so we think the battery's cooked again. Anyway, I've cooked my battery because I've been trying to start it so much. Oh, that could be because it's just not getting a good enough connection to the jumper cords. It's not on there, right? Would that make sense?
That's a really good tie, huh?
Where's the starting fluid? Premium starting fluid. Here we go. Alright, so I've got the bug running again-ish. I'm super happy that it's been running, so the new distributor was definitely a big a big help. What I had to do yesterday, I don't know how well I explained it. I finally got it to run because I just put the Land Rover battery in the battery spot right back here. Unfortunately, there's still something a little bit fishy because I don't know if that battery's dead or what's going on, but it won't. I don't think it's. I cleaned up the terminals and I just tried to start it, and this is all I get. Listen. So it cranks like half the time. So that kind of stinks. Luckily, my friend Jake is coming out here to help me out. He's gonna bring a jump pack, and it should start right back up. I'm getting the battery for this car charged up right now, so hopefully this will stop being an issue. Doesn't seem to want to go, and now I'm getting mine recharged, and hopefully that one will just work, and that'll be that. But for whatever reason, it doesn't want to start up for me right now. But with the jump pack, it'll start. It started fine earlier. Like I said, I'm stoked to have this thing back on the road, but it kind of stinks that there's this thing going on with the battery. But it's so much better than where I was at the beginning of yesterday. I couldn't even get the thing to start at all. It's been like that for a couple weeks. So now that it's running, I'm really happy about it, and I should be able to start having some fun with the thing. And thank you for watching, and we'll have a new video up next Tuesday.